Good morning to my favorite people. It is Kaiwin here with your daily live. So, a quick recap from yesterday. I posted already that I, made my profit yesterday, and today I made $41 in addition. So, overall, my account is now up $311 only with four trades. $300 in profit over 4 different days. And so I'm going to break down exactly the rules I used today, the levels I traded at, and everything that you can see here on the screen. I'm just going to explain it for you. If you're new here, I took a loss on my page. It is already live for my itchy finger syndrome, where I just wanted to place a trade for who knows what reason. And every single dollar since that day has been making up for the rules that I was supposed to be following that I didn't follow. And so there's no fake wins here. There's no like editing the things. Like the market is literally still live, as you can see. I'm just going to be going through how I've been able to make $300 over the past 4 days just from following the rules. And I'm also going to show you my rule book, my literal journal with my rules in it. Let me pull that up as well first. So if you are here live, make sure to comment down below what you traded today. If you traded gold or silver, QQQ, what did you trade? And then also let me know how much you made today and one thing you'd want to change with your trading. Let me go ahead and pull up my rules. I pulled this up in all the videos that I remember to pull it up. So I'm just going to go ahead and scroll down to my literal checklist of things that I do for every single trade. And we are going to get into it. So it is December 16th, which means Christmas is next week, and that means the market has been a little changey, iffy. And here are my rules. So we're just gonna look at those as we go through. And of course, this is what I marked yesterday, so I'm just gonna undo all that. And let's get started. So, number one, I did not remove or clear my chart of any lines or any markings because I kept my lines and my markings from Monday actually. So I've been using them for actually no, since like last Thursday. So I've been using them for 4 days. The next thing is, did I only use the 4 hour and 1 hour to mark my active touch zones? I did. Active touch zones are support and resistance, and I'll break that down right now. So active touch zones is anywhere where price has touched twice or more. Um, so if you think of something like here, this was actually part of my watch and learn that I did a few weeks ago. How not to get faked out in the market. If you haven't checked out my watch and learn playlist, it's truly a gem. Make sure to check it out. But something like here, right? This is a support line where we tried to come below it 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, this is literally from Monday to that next end of the week. So it on yeah, basically 1 week, one trading week. So what that means is that we tried super hard to come below this line and we didn't. But what I'm saying here is that this is a active touch zone, so that's why it has the line to help me to remember that, right? And then I make sure not to trade anything that's less than $2 of a range. Today I traded $2 in a range because we had a reversal, a very strong reversal on the 1 hour. So that's what I traded today, and I'll break that down for you guys. So this, if anything I ever say is confusing, you can definitely comment down below and just ask me another question because I will just address it in the next live for tomorrow. So the main thing with that is that I want to have big space to make money. So if you think about a trade that, let's even use this as an example, right? So this current candle, this red candle that we see here, rejected off a 612.8. Now, the 612.8 number is coming from this box over here in the corner. So it's a 612.8, and that's where it rejected from, okay? And then my next line was actually here at 608, and that marked a 604. You guys, if you want to know that more in depth, yesterday's video went in detail on why I drew those two lines. However, what happened today is it reversed, and because this was a wall of resistance where price doesn't want to go above, and this is a wall of where price doesn't want to go, that price actually wants to hold below. Sometimes it wants to hold below it, sometimes it wants to go above it. I'll show you here. Let me actually change this color. Oops. Nope, I don't want to delete that yet. See, that's why I don't put alarms directly on top of my lines, because then it gets very difficult to like maneuver them both. Just gonna move that a little bit, and I'm gonna mark this line as, let's just change the color of it to blue so you can see what I'm doing, okay? So let's go over to this chart, and we're gonna find the blue line, right? We have the 1 hour on the left side, and we have the 4 hour on the right side, which means that we're looking at two different time frames for the sake of being able to zoom in and out of our trades. And I really do not like using the lower time frames. You'll see that in my rules later on, but let's go ahead and continue. Right, so we look at this blue line here, and we're going to look at what it did previously. So we already marked it. It's already here on the chart. Actually, we need to look at both of these. Actually, so let's look at this one first, right? Previously, when price did react with it, because it is an active zone, but when it was active, what type of activity did it have? So we can see that we're just going to work from right to left, right? So going right to left, price wanted to stay above this line here, wanted to hold below here, wanted to hold above here, wanted to hold below here and hold above here. So it's acted as both, but more recently, it's acted as price wanted to stay above it more recently, okay? Now, if we look at the line of 604, that was technically just a secondary line that I drew of like lows. If we were to reach a low this week, it would be around 604, which kind of signals me that we're in a very bearish market this week. But previously, price wanted to stay above, price slammed through here, price wanted to stay below. So it's done both. More recently, it wanted to stay above, right? So essentially what I was looking for today was what was going to happen as far as the bearish market, because I was very bearish on Monday, and that played out very well. As you could see, market literally fell apart by like almost $8. Oh, more than that, more like $10 by pre-market by 4 a.m. this morning. As you can see here at the bottom, like it says the time, so 4 a.m. And what that means to me is that we're going to be in a bearish market, but we don't know if we're going to hold there, if we're just going to be there, if we're going to go down and go back up. We don't know, right? That's the part of patience in the market, because you can always kind of tell, oh, it's going to go up, oh, it's going to go down, but you don't really know entirely if it's going to do that, and then you don't know when it's going to do it. So it could do it, but it does it 10 minutes after you think, or it does do it, but it does it 20 minutes after, or maybe it does it 5 minutes after, right? So you have to have a little bit of patience in the market, because it's not just about, hey, I'm right or I'm wrong. It's more so about, if I am right, can I get in at the correct time, right? In a way that this can really help you if you have not, let me actually check it for you here. I have a video in my Watch and Learns. It is called, currently called the Trade Analysis Most Beginners Are Missing. It was posted on December 14th, which was 2 days ago. That video is going to teach you exactly what I mean by what I just said. Like, you understand that the trade might be good, but you don't know when to get in, okay? That's what that video is for. But let's go back to my rules and let's see what's next. So Next is to put alarms below and above where I think price is going to go as far as the boundaries and range. When I say boundaries, it's the same thing as range that I think price will go to. So in this case, I think that price is going to go to or react with 612, and I also think that it's going to go to 604. So I marked those. I also think it's going to go to 608, but like I said, market opened literally on 608. So that's why it's not a line. I was watching it still as an active zone, but I definitely did not want it to, I definitely didn't trust it to trade with today. So let's go here. When the alarm goes off, I play whichever side it goes to. This ensures I don't have a bias. It ensures that I'm not married to one direction. Whichever, if I think it's gonna go bearish and it goes bullish, I play it. If I think it's gonna go bullish, it goes bearish, I play it. Right? That's why I mark, and I definitely mark and prepare myself on both sides, even though I do have a bearish sentiment, like a bearish bias of the week, based on what happened last week. But anyways, that's how I filter out what key levels are worth my time or not. Is literally knowing that I can play off either side. Now, I preload a contract, 10% of my account. My account is at $1,000, so I buy 1 to 3 days out. I believe I bought 2 days out, if I'm not mistaken. Let me double check for you. I'm gonna go to my orders, then I'm gonna go to see the date. Yeah, they were actually 1 day out, so I bought ones that expired tomorrow, and then I only bought ones that were $100 or less. Now my account is at $1,300, but I started out with 1,000 on this paper trading account, so that means that I can only buy contracts that are $100. And then when 1,000 goes, like when I either buy how many contracts I want to buy for that day, or I use the full 1,000 on how many ever trades. That's it. But the thing is, I'm not supposed to take that many trades, and we'll talk about that as well. So yeah. Anyways, I preload the contract with contracts that were. I wrote it down here. I think there were 6 out the money. Where's my note? Where's my notes? But yeah, you can use your full account, and it's not over leveraging if the contract's going in your favor. Now, obviously, you shouldn't if you're like a beginner. But and you also want to have some cash on reserve, obviously. But as a scalper, my cash immediately settles for the next day. Now, if you are a swinger, you don't want to do that same thing because there might be a trade tomorrow that you miss out on because your capital is tied up. But it was a 9 out the money for puts, and so that's what I bought 1 day out, and I preloaded that contract, and I waited for it to snipe. And then I had my exit 1, my exit 2. Your exit 1 is going to be where you basically want to exit. So for me, that was going to be this yellow line because I really want to just scalp a tiny little bit of it off the volatility, off the range break of this. If this had done a reversal and there was no key level here, I wouldn't have traded at all. If there wasn't this gap that we played with yesterday, I would not have traded at all. But it gave me a very strong gave me a very strong bearish bias, and so I was able to get in. I only took $1 profit, which was perfect because it literally ran out of energy right after that. And as you can see, it is $3 above where I entered. Right now, well, I took it at 607, which was significant on the 4 hour, and then I exited still in that 607 range. Let's look at how significant that line was. So essentially, I exited here, which was somewhere close to the previous low, which happened yesterday at like right at post market at 4 p.m. as we can see at the very bottom, right again where it shows you the dates. Just look at that black box where it says Monday 4 p.m. So I was taking to this low, very important, and then I was like, actually I kind of want to wait some more. I could have taken it, but it wasn't smart enough for me to take it. I really wanted to push some more, and I ended up only getting a super small little bit of it, because it just wasn't, honestly, let's be honest, it wasn't the best trade as far as the price action that I've seen the previous weeks and what I know that I can do based on my strategy. It was a nice reversal, but none of it really confirmed for me 1,000%. None of it really gave me some true deep conviction on like, oh, I really want to take this. It was more so, hey, I know it just reversed here. I know that this is a key level and it just pushed through here. And it's not rejecting up. Um, I'm playing off the previous key wicks that we have for the pre and post market, and also this complete reversal that we had here. You can see it easier on the 4 hour, which is why I use a lower time frame on the 1 hour and a higher time frame on the 4 hour, because you can see it so much better. But you can see we literally came down, we had a very strong reversal, and then I played the reversal back into this line where this candle at one point was completely red. And so that's what I played. I do play reversals, so this was a trade that was alongside my strategy, but it definitely was not 1,000%. I would give myself a B minus for this trade, even though I exited in profit. Um, the next thing is that I journal as I go, which of course I do by making these videos and talking about my trades, not only to properly have myself in the trades and properly have myself um, when I make a really good trade, I can go back and see what happened, because obviously, like, after you trade or after a few days, you totally forget what happened and what you did. But yeah, I definitely trade as long as I go, or I trade as I go. And the key point here is that I should be able to understand every single thing that happened by looking at this table with no reference to anything else. The table is down below. And I show that in a different video, but this is like the literal like rules that I use. And then I only watch the 1 hour, 4 hour. I make sure to confirm or confluence them with each other, like overlay their data with each other. So I'm going to show you that now. And then I also use the 100 or 12 EMA only. Those are the indicators that I use. The EMA is this black line here. I have a video on my YouTube channel that explains EMA. It is in my Watch and Learn playlist. And it's on EMAs, how to use it, and what it is, and how it can benefit your trading. But the reason why I do confluence with the lower time frame and higher time frame is because you can see that it's just easier to read the 4 hour because it has less noise in it. So you can see all of this stuff here. When you look at a higher time frame, you don't see that same noise. And then I'm actually going to switch to the way that I'm able to still get the data that I want to see, or just change up the charts a little bit without changing time frames, is literally by removing and adding my post market and pre market, which is called extended trading hours. So when you extend your trading hours, that adds your pre and post market hours. And then when you go back to regular, it removes the lines off the back of your chart, and it just shows you purely the candles without that other noise, right? So that's how I am able to see what I want to see and inspect, like literally inspect and investigate my trades deeper without having to use a different time frame, because I only like to view the 1 and 4, and I do not change my time frames, rarely ever. The lower time frames are super addicting and they really fake you out a lot. I've had my fair share of the 1 minute, 5 minute, 15 minute. I have abandoned them, and if I ever change my mind, I will come back to you guys with why I decided to re-implement them. But for right now, absolutely not. But if you look at the 4 hour, since Friday is still giving me my overall bias of my um, bearish market, so I really love that. Not that I'm correct, but because I've been trading in the correct direction, directional trading, which is good. And then the last thing is that I watch QQQ only, and I watch QQQ only. It's important that I watch QQQ only because I am supposed to. Like, that's all I need to be trading. I don't need to be trading anything else, and I don't think you can even see the rules down there. Yeah, so I watch QQQ only, and then I make sure that I'm not looking at anything under the 1 hour, because that 15 minute will socket punch you And I've had that happen plenty of times. And I only trade one daily. And basically, when I say one daily, it can be in multiple sets, but it has to be one particular trade itself. And so for me, I traded that same way down, but I did scale my way up. So I bought one, then I bought I bought one, I bought five, I bought three more singles, sold all nine for $41 profit. Um, and the thing about it is that if you want to put your pre-market stuff back up there, you can. But as for me, like it's really important to me that I only take one trade a day, um, because it just keeps me mentally locked in. That's like a terrible way to explain it, but literally, it just keeps me mentally locked in, from having to feel like I'm doing too much, because that's also why I have these rules here, like 8:45 to 10 a.m. It's usually right after I work out. I work out at 5 a.m. I finish around 7, able to come back home, eat my pro eat my protein, drink my protein shake. Like, I'm getting a little bit too much information, but like, you get what I mean. Like, it fits my daily schedule. And then around 10 o'clock, I am like entering trading zone. Like, okay, I'm gonna start trading, and then I sell. Like, if I'm not in profit, I will sell everything at 11:30, simply to avoid mental drain. And so today, I think I actually bought a bit early. I bought at 10:25. It's not that bad. So I actually waited a whole hour until, like, I was watching these charts for a whole hour and didn't do anything. And so even on a day where I feel like it's a B plus or B minus, whatever grade I gave myself, I feel like it's still good because I'm really, really, really paying attention to what I need to be doing as far as like my actual rules. If you have any other questions about my rules in particular, I will definitely make sure to share them, with you. And so I'm going to actually show you how my charts look really quick. Um, and I'm going to see if this is even like plausible to be showing, because there's a lot of information on here. Um, you know what? Actually, I'm gonna do a whole separate video on that, maybe as a watch and learn, because I feel like that'd be really helpful, more helpful than just slipping it into the end of this video. Let's make it intentional. Kaiwen, let's make it intentional. So, yeah. The last thing I want to say for this is that when it comes to your trading, journaling is so important, because if you're talking through your trades and I'm kind of sick to my stomach. I'm like, wow, I took a B plus trade just so that like by 11:30 I could be out. Like, no, that's not technically what happened. But did I really have to take that move? I really didn't. It was more so I just knew what it was gonna do, and I just have seen it so many times that I was just going to do it. It literally came down to the same price movement it did, and I basically took advantage of something it's already done. And that is not my strategy. Like, so yes, I'm good because I'm not taking something I don't know. I'm literally taking something I've seen 1,000 times, but I'm also taking something that I'm not supposed to be taking. And so, although it did halfway like fit my strategy because it rejected off a barrier, rejected off a wall, it doesn't really fully, like, honestly, right now, maybe would be a better trade if it came below or came closer to the 604 and then it bounced above, or like if it did something that made more sense to my specific strategy, I would feel better. But that's what journaling does. It really like puts a sour taste in your mouth when you start to not follow your own rules. And so that's the main reason why I decide to journal so deeply and talk through everything I do so deeply, because it really exposes me. Like, tomorrow, I'm now programmed myself to feel like, no, I'm not going to enter, because it sucks to feel that way after. I want to make trades that make myself proud, that follow my rules directly. And if there's no setup, then there's no setup. But if there's no specific setup to me, tomorrow, but I do the same thing I did today off something that I knew, well, I'm reinforcing bad habits, and that's not what I want to do. So, tomorrow's rule, and for the people that are gonna watch this video today, you can call me out tomorrow. That my rule is that I need to follow it directly, or I need to follow it directly. And when it comes to what was I even saying? I just got text. Okay, pause. When it comes to tomorrow, my thing is it needs to directly fit the bill. It needs to fit my strategy. It needs to be interacting. I'm gonna remove these lines now, or switch them back to how they were, right? To reset my chart for tomorrow. But if it doesn't completely fit my bill, if it doesn't completely fit what I want, then I'm going to just take no trades. I'm just gonna sit out. I'm just gonna make nothing. And that feels better to me than saying I have more money towards. I'm going to keep these purple lines. These are actually my markings to the upside, which is actually still valid. So I like those. But yeah, like something like now where it's kind of pushing a little deeper, pushing a little harder. Like, you know, if it pushed a little harder and it came down and it broke the 604, I could take that rejection to the upside and maybe have grabbed $2 or $3 more. But or maybe even grab less than I grabbed earlier, but it just feels better when you take a better trade, is all I'm saying. So I didn't technically have to grab this stuff down here. And tomorrow, if like I only took one trade a day and it's already 11:13, which means that my trading, I don't even think y'all can see that. Can y'all even see what time it is? It's down here at the bottom. 11:13. So currently 11:13, and that means that I only have, quick maths, 17 minutes till market closes, which means I would be just jumping into something to try to make money before my cutoff time. But also, it doesn't really make sense to do it because I already took my one trade for the day. So I'm not supposed to be trading again, anyways. And, if it doesn't give me anything tomorrow, then I won't trade at all. So that's the reason why I make these recap videos or these trading videos or these journaling ish, where I'm like telling my recapping is what I mean, like recapping my trades. Because when you say it back to yourself, then you really want to do better the next day. You really want to be a better trader. You want to show up more disciplined. You want to be more of who you know you're supposed to be as a trader. And every single day you reinforce those good habits. You're like literally sowing a good seed into the life that you want to have. And so I definitely want everybody, including myself, to have that type of confidence when it comes to our trading. And it takes choosing it every single day. Like, you do not become good because you were good for a week and then like that's just you now. No, you have to keep choosing it every single day, and you keep choosing it by continuing to journal, keep choosing it by continuing to follow your rules, keep choosing it by being truthful to yourself, saying this was a B minus trade, I should have waited for blah blah blah. If it didn't give me anything, I shouldn't have traded at all. And that should be like our heart posture moving forward into the next day. So I'll see you guys in my next video. I appreciate y'all so much for watching, and if you have not watched my other live recordings, my other live videos where I drop all my gems, definitely make sure to watch my live recaps.